Okay, this is what I'm finding today as a real estate instructor, as a real estate managing broker. I'm finding that I need to give you a job. I need to tell you what to do to start doing the business of real estate. So here we go. So I'm going to give you your daily strategy, weekly strategy. It could be used monthly, quarterly, yearly. Basically, your job. I'm going to give you your job in real estate. As an entrepreneur, it is our job to create the inbox. Like over there, I have an inbox, meaning I give myself what I need to do every single day. And this is true for those of you that have ever worked in an administrative job, or you worked at a desk job and someone dropped off something for you to do. That was true for me when I worked for McDonald's East Coast Real Estate Division, except the files were like this long and this thick. Thank God they went paperless. So we often get stuck just trying to build a way to run our businesses in real estate. So today I'm going to give you two strategies, and none of it involves social media. Every day in real estate, we wake up to earn a paycheck. Yep, that's the life of an entrepreneur. For most, it becomes the reason we get stuck and end up working for someone else. And what I mean by that is we end up doing the real estate business part-time, some of the time, dual career, because we need a guaranteed paycheck. Although real estate can be very lucrative, it can be whatever you make it, if you just get up, get dressed, get out the door and create your inbox. When you end up working for someone else, it's because you need the paycheck, you need bonuses, or you need benefits. But if you make this business work and you provide value to the consumer, they will always refer you. So as an entrepreneur, you get to be your weekly strategist. So today I'm going to give you those two systems, even if you're part-time. So, when I work with new real estate agents, I should have had a piece of paper. I've got something, I've always got paper on my desk. When you became a new real estate agent, here's what people forget to tell you to do. We sit you down, we show you how to use systems, we show you how to click, we tell you to post on social media, we tell you to like everybody else's pages on Facebook, and we tell you to tell all your friends to find you on social media, and we say send a handwritten letter to all your friends and write. Tell them you're in the business of real estate. But often what we forget to do is we forget to say, go get old school calendar. So right now I even have a calendar on my desk. It could be a Google calendar. It could be something you find on Canva. And then, I should have had that in here. But anyway, what I want you to do is literally get a sheet of paper, maybe bigger than this, maybe 8.5 by 11. And I really want you to, just write this out. Now you can go actually on a tool called Canva, canva.com. And if you've never used Canva, down at the bottom, I'll give you my links down here. You can get a free version of Canva. You can upgrade if you want. It is worth $10 a month. I want you to find a calendar or get a sheet of paper, and I want you to write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, draw some lines. And if you have another job, I want you to write in the hours you work. So if you work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, I want you to put 9 to 5 shaded in. And then if you have a lunch, maybe it's an hour, I want you to leave that open. And then I want you to put in everything you are committed to. So for example, if you are the parent that picks your kids up every day, shade that in. If you know that every Thursday at 6 o'clock, you have to go to the chiropractor, shade that in. If you are on your local school board or you're the PTO mom or dad or person, go write that in because you have to be somewhere every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Orchestra concert, whatever it is, write all of that write it in Monday through Sunday. And then maybe on the weekends, your kids play soccer, like whatever you have to put in, shade that in, because then, those are the hours you can work. If you are full-time, you can build your schedule around your family. And if it's just you're single, no kids, sky's the limit. So you need to figure out when you have the ability to work. So, and I want you to know, first things first, you must work your plan, not my plan, not someone else's plan. Own what you can actually accomplish, and don't try to do it all. Social media will mess us up. I mean, it gives us the illusion that real estate is easy. So if I can get you to get off of, I've got Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, I've got TikTok, you name it, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Reddit, Dig, Delicious, stumbled upon all of that on my phone. It is easy to get stuck watching everyone else. Turn your phone over and let's get to work. So I want you to keep it simple. And I'm going to give you 2 things you can do. Now, I need you to get something accomplished daily. Some work or simply completing something small is better than no work at all. So this week, Tuesday morning, and I shouldn't even say this week. I'll just say I recently was at a conference, and one of the best speakers to kick off the meetings really motivated us. And he was like, think outside the box. If someone tells you no today, if you're like, Carrie, you're telling me I can't do this, I'm telling you, you can do the business. You just might have to get creative and think outside the box. So I want you to think, what will you do? Now, when I started selling real estate back in 2001, pre-2001, I worked for a builder. All I knew is I needed a paycheck. So these are the 3 things I did. This is it for the whole year. I walked my neighborhood every single month. When it got cold, because I'm in Illinois, I started mailing around December, January, and February. But let's just go every single month I mailed. And I literally walked my neighborhood with a doorknob bag and a newsletter that I created in something called Microsoft Publisher. That's what happened. Then I also would talk to all my friends and family and let them know I was in the business of real estate. I literally called and said, I'm in real estate. Let me help you. That's what I did. Then I would host home buyer workshops probably every other month for the first 3 years. This is all I did. And if it wasn't every other month, I knew I was working with a loan officer, an inspector. Back then we had partners in charities. Now we can ask the seller to participate with closing costs. And I had an attorney because in Illinois, in Northern Illinois, we typically use an attorney. So I would have them help me run my home buyer seminar. So you could just say, okay, Carrie, I could do that every quarter. I could do that every 6 months. I actually have a first-time homebuyer group where I stream live once a month on a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. So those are the 3 things I did. That was it. So I walked my neighborhood, I worked the people I knew, and I hosted homebuyer workshops. Now, remember, we didn't have Facebook, Twitter, and all this other stuff. So let's get into a few strategies today. And if you ever have questions, type them in the feed. And I really do know that this works. So here's number 1. Now, even in all of this, I always go back to real data, like how, a lot of times as real estate agents, we don't know how much money we need. So I want you to keep this simple. So before I go into one strategy and then the second strategy, I want you to sit down and say, I want you to write down how much money you need to make in order to live on if you didn't have another job. Like literally, like, do you need $3,000 a month to pay for your housing, rent, or mortgage, gas, electric, internet, cable, food, gas for your car or plugging in your car? Like write down all of your expenses and write in if you have any debt, like write all of those monthly payments, not to pay it off. We can talk about that another time, but write down everything, because then you know how much, then you can determine how many houses you need to sell to make that. Come see me in another class. All right. Okay, so here we go. Strategy number 1, and I'm keeping this really simple. Pick one thing to do to generate leads. And I'm going to say, we're going to go simple, cancels and expireds every day. And if you literally did this Sunday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday, it will work. So I want you to mail every single day to cancels and expires. And while I'm talking to you, I'm going to literally log into my multiple listing service to tell you how many expireds there are right now that happened at midnight tonight, last night, today, something like that. I think you know what I mean. So there was 1. If I were to change this to what happened 2 days ago, there were 2. If I were to change this to what happened, let's go with maybe, let me pull the neighborhood I live in. Oh no, I don't want that one. The neighborhood I live in, and I'm going to go back. Let's go back just 14 days so I can see how many properties there are that didn't come back on that were canceled. That they could have come back on the market since then, but we're just going to pretend. And so expired last 14 days. Uh-oh, you know what happens when I click. So let me see. Expired. Okay. Two. So two, but I pulled Naperville just to see what would happen. Here's the point. If you looked at this every single day, eventually you are going to have the ability to mail. Now, there are more properties that go off the market around the end of the month. So this time I put in expireds and canceled. Last 14 days, there were 29. But let's just go with you're going to do this every single day. So today I had one expired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a note card. Of course, you know, my office. Oh, here it is. It's actually closer than you think. No judging, but here we go. I'm going to take a note card just like this. And I'm going to put in my business card with a sticker. And then I'm going to handwrite a note to the seller. Dear Mr. Seller, I see your home is no longer being actively marketed. When you decide to interview new agents, I would love to be considered. I am using their real name. I'm doing my research to make sure the house is not on the market. And then I'm mailing this, you know, I'm handwriting the envelope, I'm putting my company address, maybe on the back or where you're supposed to put it. And I'm putting this in the mail today. And then I'm going to track that I mailed it today. This is one thing you could do every single day. Every day, someone will call you. I have people that are in my membership. And actually, I went to a Chicago event, Chicago YPN, and I had an agent walk up to me, and Amber, and she said, Carrie, and she was just glad to meet me in person. And I was like, hi, how are you? She was like, I'm in the membership and I'm mailing to cancels and expires, and I have 3 new listings. This works. This really, really, really does work. So I want to motivate all of you to do this. So that's your number one. And I would also say that when you mail, you could also maybe create a label that has a call to action. You could have, you know, put in a website, maybe to redirect them to a tool like Cloud CMA or a Google landing page, so you can grab their information. And I always give you a way to contact me: call, text, or email, because someone might not want to call you, but they'll text you. So here's a number 2. Remember what I said, walk my neighborhood. So we have 170 townhouses where I bought my first property. Still own the townhouse. I don't live there anymore, but I still own it. So I walk my neighborhood every single month with a newsletter and using a doorknob bag. And I built this newsletter in Publisher. Canva has everything pre-created for you. Real estate newsletters. Talk to your brokers, find out everything you need per license law on your marketing. And this is what you're going to do. In the newsletter, write a short article about who you are. Hey, everyone, I'm Carrie Little. My husband and I own a boutique brokerage in the area. We've been in the business. I've been in the business since 97. I actually work for the builder in our city. If you ever walk by our house, because this is a subdivision we live in, we're the house with all the cars because my husband loves cars. Like, I kind of gave them some insight on who we are. And I even said, if you ever have a question about cars, call him. People will stop by our house to talk to him. And then I give a market update, like how many houses there are that are on the market, under contract, or sold in the last 30 days. Now, I don't put in the addresses of those properties. I don't have the right to market them without permission. So I might say, as of today, or as of the last few days, there are 3 properties for sale, 1 under contract, and maybe 3 that just closed. If you would like a list, contact me today. Now, and then I will also give like a neighborhood update, like the city that you live in. And I will, you know, maybe just take a screenshot of what's in InfoSparks, give credit to the source so they know that I didn't make up the data. And then I can also get other articles from houselogic.com/members, because if you are a member of the National Association of Realtors, they gave you that information. You will need your member's first number, used to be called NERD's number, to access the data. But how cool is that? And the bonus is you can share that stuff on social media. So those are my 2 ways I need you to start working today. So now let's just say you pick one. Now, I'm all for simple, pick one. You pick the one, you mail to cancels and expires. Usually agents say, well, there's another agent that's already dominating. That's okay. Start mailing, start tracking where you're mailing to. Someone's going to call you. When they call you and say, hey, Tina, I got your message and your mail, and I'd love to have a conversation. When can you come over? If you're terrified, some money is better than no money. Have someone go with you and share the compensation. And then number 2, let's just say you walk your neighborhood every single month. You get to know the neighbors. So no excuses. Now, I could come up with so many more, but again, you don't have to do those 2. Pick something and give yourself the work. There is absolutely no reason why you can't do this business. I'm Carrie. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this with a friend.